Everybody, my sincerest apologies for the issues. Yeah, it was just a break and it needed to be reset, if you get what I mean. All right, it's an 18-15 game as I've completely reset the live stream. We've now got fully functioning video without complete bugs, and we've got a fully functioning audio that shouldn't drop every 23 seconds. All right, well, 5 minutes left here in the first half. Ian Bauer with a 3, and he splashes it down. Ian Bauer with a money 3, and it's 21-15 right out of the new stream. So here's Will Svensson. He'll hand off to Shipley. Over to Bjorn Helstan. Helstan bounce feed to Shipley. His effort, no. And the rebound is thrown out of bounds by a sea of Memorial hands. It'll be Rice Lake ball. Again, the pep band is here today. Well, about half of it is still sitting where they're supposed to for the first half. USA themed student section just next to them. Again, you know, sometimes it's as simple as a restart is all you need to fix a pressing issue. Well, Rice Lake get nothing out of that, and now up the floor, McCarthy. Mason McCarthy's effort rolls off the back rim, but he gets fouled on his way going up for it. Foul will be on Grady Shipley for Rice Lake. 2 shots coming for Mason McCarthy, attacking pretty much right in front of you on that camera. Again, reminder, I'm the only one here today, so I'm doing it all here. I'm the one that's pulling all the strings. I'm the one that's got to mess with the video board come halftime. I'm the one that's got to do a lot of the stuff today, but hey, here we are. Everything is fully functioning now. McCarthy missed his first one, but he makes the second one as Memorial are pulling ahead by 7, which is one thing they struggled with in their last game, was holding a big lead as Hudson stormed back on them and ended up winning their game on huge runs right back in their face. We'll see if they can stop Rice Lake here and add a little bit more. Here's Shapley over to Dvorak. Now down low, here's Svensson. Outside, a 3 ball from Dvorak, no good. Rebound, kicks out on the baseline. It will stay with Rice Lake. You know, this season's been a year of weird things happening here on Old Abe TV. We had a game where we just needed to plug in a power cord for a JV game. As here's a step out on the baseline right in front of the Memorial bench. It'll be Memorial basketball with Caleb Mesner to inbound. And a golden opportunity to extend the lead. But yeah, we had a game where the power wasn't working, and we had a game where we now have simply had to just restart the computer to get it to work properly. All right, Ian Bauer. Bounce feed to McCarthy. Here's McCarthy, puts up a floater, no, offensive rebound, Jepson. His shot too strong, but he got tangled up and flailed that shot. So he will go to the line and will shoot the 2 shots. There's nobody in any remote foul trouble quite yet for either team. As Abbott Jepson's first shot is good. And Memorial looking to potentially get close to pushing this one into double digits. Rice Lake, by the way, have struggled this season pretty much all year. Came into their Ashland game right before this on a huge losing skid of about 8 games. They did win that one 51-40. But other than that game, it has been a struggle bus for Rice Lake. They have just 4 wins on the season, one of them coming against North in the second game of this 2025-26 season. Here they go now. Here's Helstan. Reverse layup attempt is a travel. tried to reverse the layup, but he traveled the baseline. Memorial basketball looking to push this into double digits. And timeout taken on the floor. It's Memorial 24 and Rice Lake 15. Well, for Memorial, they're in probably the best spot you could ask for when it comes to basketball games for them this year. They're in a huge lead, something they rarely experience, and have the potential to pull away from a team. Now, this could also be false hope for them. We saw it happen against Hudson. They had huge leads and they lost them. Can they take the extra step, go the extra mile in this game to take the lead and hold on to it for the end of this first half, take the lead into the break, and then hold it through the second half? That's all you can really ask for if you're Brisky out on the floor. Remember, this is a conference matchup, albeit two teams in the bottom half of the conference. It's still a conference matchup, and you want to win your conference matchups, especially when you're a team that's trying to develop, like Brisky's and this Rice Lake team led by Kevin Orr, also fairly young. They have one less senior on their roster, a couple sophomores, a freshman on there, a lot of sophomores for the varsity roster. Here's a bounce feed to Olatunji, slides it out to Hudson. He'll go to Caleb Mesner. Mesner pulls up for the three. Rims out, no. Offensive rebound, McCarthy though. Goes to Olatunji, to Hudson. Drew Hudson up top now. Olatunji across to McCarthy. McCarthy back to Olatunji in the near corner. Olatunji into the block. Bounce to Hudson. Hudson over to Mesner. Over to McCarthy now. McCarthy tries to slide through. Puts up a shot. It rolls off the back rim and out. And Rice Lake will look to set up the offense. Trailing by 9. It's Landon Brown. Brown. Bullet pass to Will Svensson. Across they go to Van Voort. Now inside, here's a layup attempt that's good from Will Svensson. And it's a 7-point ball game. Now Memorial's Ian Bauer to Caleb Mesner. Mesner, free throw line, goes to McCarthy. McCarthy had some trouble handling it, now he's got it. Tries to pass it on Olatunji, tips off the fingertips of Chris Cooper, the senior for Rice Lake. Tips off his fingertips. It'll stay Memorial ball. 2:25 left to go in what is becoming a 7-point game. Memorial basketball this year trying to build up some confidence before their playoff run. Here's a three from McCarthy, top of the key. That comes to nothing. Rebound gathered by Grant Pacholke. Pacholke will go to Svensson. Now Svensson tried to bully his way through, and he's going to get the contact here on Ian Bauer. So it's a non-shooting foul committed on Svensson. Fourth committed by the Old Abes, and the second by Ian Bauer. Ball inbounded into the corner, nearly stolen away by Caleb Mesner. Into the paint, going outside by Brown. He went to Van Voort. Now back to Landon Brown. As Brown calls the play. Guarded by the senior Ian Bauer. Here's Pacholke. Pacholke into the paint, spins out, goes into the corner. Now back to Pacholke. To Svensson. Now Kruppert. Up top for Svensson. Now a three on the way. No from Van Voort. Offensive rebound though for Svensson. Will Svensson to Ben Van Voort. Now underneath. They went back to Svensson. And the whistle stops play. Foul called on Mason McCarthy. So his first. And the team's fifth. So the team's even on fouls. This one's lobbed inbound to Van Voort. And Landon Brown. Around the horn they go to Kluppert. Kluppert tried to lob it in. Ball's tipped by Mesner. It's on the floor. Drew Hudson went for it. It squirts out and Rice Lake maintain. Here's Van Voort for three. Off the back rim. Offensive rebound back to Van Voort. Here's Van Voort. Drives into the right block. Can't get it to go. Under a minute now. Ian Bauer to Andrew Hudson. Drew Hudson sneaks his way through, falls on the floor, and gets the two. Drew Hudson, as slippery as an eel, sneaks his way through. Now 35 seconds left. We'll see what Landon Brown cooks up. He'll hand it off to Will Svensson. Svensson. He's guarded by Abbott Jepson. He'll hand it back off to Brown. 20 seconds left. Rice Lake is going to hold for the last shot, it looks like, trailing by 9. Brown backing on Drew Hudson. Brown. And a foul called here. They're going to get, actually no, timeout it looks like. Correction, there's a timeout on the floor. And I think that's going to be the only thing that comes out of this. Yeah, timeout taken by Rice Lake with 11 seconds left as Landon Brown was nearly forced for an over and back. 11 seconds left in the first half. It's a 1-0 ball game. As yet. So for Memorial, they're in a great spot. They'll take a lead into the halftime break, something that's been a rarity to them all year. But when they do, they've been successful with it. All right, out of the timeout, Rice Lake's going to whip up one more play here, and then we will send it to the halftime break. It'll be Rice Lake to inbound. Right in front of the student section. He's got a lot of loud students right in his ear, but he's able to inbound it cleanly to Landon Brown. 8 seconds left. Brown gives it to Pacholke. Pacholke heaving a player. Not close now. Ian Bauer will try a line drive baseball pass, and it's not even remotely close. And that sends us to halftime. Memorial lead 26-17. Well, apart from the technical bugs, this has been a great game for the Old Abes. They lead successfully and are going to hold Rice Lake to just 17 points in the first half. Well, we'll take a break. When we come back, second half of Memorial action coming back. Right after this, you're watching Memorial Old Abe boys basketball on Old Abe TV.
This evening for your halftime entertainment, please welcome a special group of youth dancers who are performing. These dancers all participate in the second annual Valentine's Dance Clinic this week. Memorial Dance Team would like to give a special shout out to the gold sponsor of the 2026 Valentine's Dance Clinic, Security National Bank. Thank you for your support to make this event possible. Again, thank you, Security Financial. Please enjoy the performance this evening to the song Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Welcome the youth dancers. job. Thank you, youth dancers, for being with us tonight. All right, we're going to take just a moment to get all those, we call them streamers. We're going to get that cleaned up quick so they're safe. And our varsity special performance for Valentine's is coming up. Also tonight, we are very honored to have with us this evening. Make some noise for the young basketball players in the program. The Youth Eagles are here tonight. Thank you, Youth Eagles. All out there. Again, one more time. Welcome to the Youth Eagles with us. Thank you guys so much for being with us this evening. Thank you. And we have one more routine for you tonight. You will enjoy this a great deal. Next, please welcome your Memorial Varsity Dance Team to the floor. The team has prepared a Valentine's-inspired confident team to enjoy their performance to Love Story. Thank you so much for being with us. Youth dancers in here, we thank you for being here. Great job this evening in the performance. Sports fans, remember great concessions.
Well, gather back around, everybody. Second half of Memorial Boys basketball is moments away. 26-17, the Old Aves lead in what wasn't an insanely high-scoring first half, and Memorial playing very good in limiting the Rice Lake Warriors to not much scoring in that first half to 17 points, but themselves up by 9. And yeah, now the Hatcan Steinmite team. It has stopped teams in the past and has allowed for epic comebacks. Memorial's going to have to not come out slow at the start of this second half. That's going to be the big piece. You can't come out slow out of the gates here. You got to come out. You got to be ready. Rice Lake's going to up the intensity here, and they are going to try to bully you out of the gates. Memorial's got to not let that happen right now. Well, Rice Lake's taking the floor. I have no clue where the old Apes are. Well, here comes Ian Bauer, and here come the rest of the guys. So the rest of the guys here are already here. So Rice Lake, like I attempted to say during the glitchy part of today's broadcast, hey, with old Ape TV, you never know what you're gonna encounter. Today, it was a situation where we just didn't refresh it. So, yeah, sometimes it's as simple as that. Other times, it's a whole complex series of code that I've never seen in my life. All right. By the way, both teams today came out wearing striped pants for warm-ups. I need to ask Brisky or somebody on the boys team why they do that. It's interesting for sure, but I need to know why Memorial have done it. I know teams like to do it just to show off, but I need to know Memorial's reason to wear the striped pants during warm-ups. Rice Lake's got their own reasons. Every team that does it's got their own reasons. Every team that wears anything has their own reasons. Jersey designs, all that stuff. They have reasons behind them. So I need to know what the striped pants for warm-ups are about. By the way, it's second halftime, which means that the band has vacated the premises because what I've heard from one of the members is he claims the only reason they leave at halftime is they've played through all their music. Well, I would like for them to explain to me how they've already played through all their music by halftime. Today they didn't even play at halftime. We had dance team performances. So I need to start really asking some questions. Alright, second half of Memorial Boys basketball coming your way here on YouTube at Old Abe TV. This game did start at about 7:30 today due to a long JV game. You can watch JV here on this channel as well. That one went into overtime. Yes, a JV game going into overtime. It's crazy to think about it. Well, out of the second half, here's Svensson spinning into the paint. Went up for a dump pass, but was fouled in the air. We'll see if they give him the shots here, and they are going to give him the 2 shots. He was intending to throw that ball to Ben Van Voort, but got whacked by Ian Bauer, who's now at 3 fouls. So you got to start getting worried a little bit about him. First shot is good from Svensson. Svensson, a 6'5" senior, and he's definitely got some muscles on him. Second shot, no, rebound fought for, and Abbott Jepson comes down with it for the Old Apes. He gives it to Ian Bauer, and Bauer's the one who walks it up the floor. Ian Bauer. Here's a corner 3 from Caleb Mesner, and Mesner hits it. Caleb Mesner, the corner 3, and Memorial take a double-digit lead. They lead by 11. Here's Svensson, near side, pass to Kluppert. Brown around to Klupper, now near side 3 on its way, no good from Van Voort. Rebound Jepson, who gives to Mesner. Caleb Mesner drives into the paint, gives it to Abbott Jepson. The layup is up, and the layup is in. And the A's have eclipsed the 30 bugger in this one. 31-18 with still 17 minutes to play. And this is exactly what Rice Lake didn't want to have happen. Come out slow here in the second half. Here's Pacholke outside Svensson. He'll try a long 3. Rattles out. No. Rebound. Ball force an offensive one. But Pacholke can't put it down. And now on that rebound, a foul's going to get called. This one's going to go against Rice Lake's Ben Van Voort. And Memorial will just inbound it like they normally would, but they do get the bonus foul. Bauer Drives into the paint, goes into the corner. Mesner thought about the three. Now he'll actually shoot the three. That's off the side rim. And Abbott Jepson, the offensive rebound, though. Ian Bauer, he'll try a three. Rattles out, no. Abbott Jepson going for another rebound. He gets wrestling move thrown to the ground. And it's going to be a hell of a ball called as Abbott Jepson going all out for these rebounds. It stays Memorial basketball on the alternating possession arrow. Ian Bauer lobs it in to Abbott Jepson. Bounce to Ian Bauer. Bauer on the baseline, puts up a floater. It doesn't go, but he drew contact, and he will go to the line to shoot the two shots. Foul on Graham Pachowski and Ian Bauer. Ian Bauer hasn't done it all himself today. He's only got 5. We'll make that 6 as it rolls around the rims. Rolls across the rims, I should say, and goes through the hoop. Mind you, this one did start a little bit behind schedule. The JV game was absolute cinema before this, as Ian Bauer makes his second one. That JV game has turned out to be much closer than this one. Rice Lake rallied back to tie Memorial, force the JV overtime, in which Rice Lake were able to take the JV game by 2. Here's Svensson. Has the ball poked away from him. It's on the floor, scooped up by Caleb Mesner. Mesner to Drew Hudson. Hudson drives to the right block. He got the layup to go, but it's going to be a foul called prior to the shot, so no shots for him at the line. It's going to go against Graham Pachowski, and that'll be Pachowski's second here at the start of the half. He's only on 2 total, so nothing insane for him. You're not worried about foul trouble quite yet. So, well, bit of a delay here while Memorial sneaking a Caleb Olatunji substitution. As now he's checked into the game. Abbott Jepson getting looked at by the trainer, by the way, just off your screen. Here's the inbound by Mesner. It's all the way up to mid-court. Grabbed by McCarthy. Gets double-teamed. Able to squirm it to Logan. Now baseball pass to Mesner. Caleb Olatunji tries the three and he nails it. Caleb Olatunji with the 3 ball. He's got 6 on the night. And it's a 18-point lead for Memorial. They're beginning to run away with this one. Here's Pachowski. Lobbed into the paint for Svensson, and then he gets fouled going up for it. Caleb Mesner, the guilty party. And 2 shots coming for Will Svensson. Svensson's first shot up. Svensson's first shot. We talk about how much Memorial struggled this year, and that's especially compared to last season with how good this team was all around last year. It was one of those things where you can't rely on your guys sticking around with you. You gotta be ready to have new guys coming through, and that's the problem when you graduate your entire roster. This season's going to be a little bit slow. But what you can do with this one against a fairly young Rice Lake team is show that you're the better, younger team. Here's Drew Hudson for 3 off the side rim. Offensive rebound. Mason McCarthy, though. The scramble for the ball after the fact is poked out by a Rice Lake Warrior. I want to say Chris Cooper, the one to knock it out. 16-point ball game. Old Abe's have currently been in complete control since the second half has begun. Here's Lucas Loken, corner 3. And Lucas Loken nails it down. And Memorial could potentially push this into 20 points. It's 39-20. Another defensive stop here to score would do just that. Landon Brown got it away to Kluppert. Now Svensson to the near side, corner 3. Nailed it. Ben Van Voort hits the shot. And we are going to have a timeout taken by the Warriors. Well, 39-23, a 16-point ball game, and this is why Memorial, they like where they sit. I talked about what happened against Hudson. This is a different story. This is not Hudson. Hudson's a very good team in what feels like every single sport. Growing up, I played Hudson in hockey every single year. It was almost impossible to beat them. So it's one of those things where you grow up playing Hudson, you kind of know the inevitable defeat. Rice Lake's a different story. Rice Lake, by all means, aren't bad at everything. In fact, the girls' team is playing the Rice Lake girls' team right now. Rice Lake is currently top of the conference in girls' basketball. But no, Rice Lake is a bit more your average school. They're not great at everything. There's going to be blemishes. And for Memorial, they're trying to take advantage of this struggle season in the boys' basketball department. Well, out of the timeout, it'll be Caleb Mesner to inbound under his own hoop. Just off your screen. Mesner as Rice Lake run the full court press. Mesner bouncing to Loken, back to Mesner. Can Memorial break the full court press? Mesner under some more pressure, gets it to Loken. Loken gets the midcourt and lost the handle on it. He regathers, flings it to Mesner, and then a push foul called on Rice Lake. It looks like. Correction, no foul on the play. It's actually going to be he stepped out of bounds. They're going to say that he stepped out of bounds on that sideline, so Memorial turned the ball over, and Rice Lake with some control with Landon Brown. They're by 16, needing a comeback. Over to Hellstad. Under some pressure from Olatunji. Goes to Svensson. Svensson working on Mesner. Svensson into the paint of the ball, knocked away by Mason McCarthy into the hands of Caleb Olatunji. Olatunji to Mesner. Mesner's got space. He's going to take the three. It's too short off the front rim. If you give Caleb Mesner that shot too many times, he's going to keep draining him. Olatunji going for the takeaway, but it's going to be a reach in against him. Landon Brown actually trips over Olatunji as they both fell down. But foul on Olatunji, his second. And both teams sitting at 3 fouls here fairly early on. Here's Hellstad. Ball off target to Vorak. Svensson. Backward to Hellstad. They'll go around to Brown. Landon Brown. Will Svensson. Back outside. 3 on the way. Off the side rim. No from Parker to Vorak. The sophomore no good. Caleb Mesner the other way. Mesner surveys the floor. Now goes to Olatunji. Thought about the 3, send his men flying. He has his first effort blocked, but maintained control. Saved it off the line. Now Abbott Jepson's got it. He tries to reverse. That one swatted away. Both of those swatted away by Will Svensson. Now on the fast break the other way. Landon Brown. No. And now Mason McCarthy trying to counter. McCarthy goes up for the layup. He got it. Mason McCarthy sneaks through on the back-to-back fast breaks. It is the one to put the ball in. Landon Brown again. He's looking for his options. Goes to Dvorak. Parker Dvorak up to Landon Brown. His pass intercepted by McCarthy. He tried to save it off the line. Grady Shepley was right there to scoop it up and go to Landon Brown. To Will Svensson. The Memorial support beginning to make some noise for this defensive play. Landon Brown at the free throw line, spinning around, goes out Shepley, 4-3. It's too short off the front rim. Rebound on the floor. Lucas Loken, the sophomore, scoops it up. He'll go to Caleb Olatunji. Ahead Mesner, back to Olatunji. To Lucas Loken, 4-3. Back rim and out. And Will Svensson will come down with it for Rice Lake. Rice Lake need a huge comeback. They're down 18. Here's Landon Brown. Brown, right wing, will hand off Will Svensson, same wing. Now Dvorak, between the wheels, he'll go to Shepley. Now Will Svensson, hand off to Landon Brown. Brown hesitates though, step back jump shot, no. Rebound to Lucas Loken, and Rice Lake having some issues hitting the target right now. Mesner crosses up Brown, goes opposite side, Olatunji up and three, couldn't hit. And Will Svensson will walk it up the floor for the Warriors. Nearly intercepted as his pass went to Shepley. Now went underneath, intended for Hellstead, who got fouled trying to grab the ball by Caleb Olatunji. And Olatunji up to his third foul. He'll stay in the game with 10:45 left. You're not gonna start sitting him yet. That's not quite what you're thinking about if you're the Old Abe's. You want to leave him out until there's like a fourth foul committed by Olatunji. Then you start to worry about anything like that. Here's Shepley. He'll give it to Chris Kluppert. To Parker Dvorak. Dvorak, the freshman, to Bryce Hellstead. Now Kluppert. Over to Dvorak. Here's Pacholke. Pacholke cross court feed to Kluppert, who sinks the three. Chris Kluppert, the three ball. And Rice Lake's gonna have to do a lot of those to get back in this game. Loken, feed to Palachek. Here's Drew Hudson. Mason McCarthy now. He'll try to lob it into Loken, nearly tipped away though by Pacholke. Loken, top of the key. He'll look for his options. Taking his time. Now we'll feed it to Drew Hudson. Gets it right back. Tries to cross up and in. Making some moves. Gets it to Palachek for three. And it's off the backboard and in. Ethan Palachek the three. And it's back up to an 18-point game. Here's Kluppert. Three ball from Dvorak, and he hits it from no man's land. So Parker Dvorak, a huge three for the 5'11 sophomore. And Memorial's lead trimmed down to 15 as we have a timeout taken on the floor. Well, I think for the Old Abe's, they've played very good on the defensive side of the ball, especially here at the start of this second half. They currently lead 44-29. Your only concern right now is some of the guys nearing foul trouble, like Olatunji and Ian Bauer, but you're not gonna start sitting the guys for extensive periods of time quite yet. You're up by 15. Ian Bell is one you might want to be a little bit more careful with, but with Olatunji specifically, you're not gonna be in a crazy hurry to sit him with 3 fouls. Well, the inbound breaks the full court press immediately. Drew Hudson all the way down, goes to Palachek for 3! Back rim, and right into the hands of Ben Van Voort. Pacholke. Drive in, now we'll go back outside. Bounce to Svensson. Svensson under the hoop, gets fouled. And we'll go to the line to shoot 2. Will Svensson does a great job at drawing the contact underneath the basket. His size makes it a huge threat under the hoop. He's 6'5". He's got a good build. He's a guy you'd be scared to go up against. He makes his first free throw as well. He's also not just he's also not a big by any means. He can make shots from all over the place. He can make threes. He can take big shots. Also, by the way, a big check-in for the game. Bennett Gardeau for Memorial's in the game. The freshman just recently got called up to varsity as Ian Bauer gets fouled from behind by Landon Brown, who's also a freshman, but has gotten a lot of minutes for this Rice Lake team all year. Yeah, Bennett Gardeau recently called up. I actually remember hearing from him on a walk over to Culver's that he had gotten called up to varsity. Drew Hudson on the near wing goes up to Caleb Mesner. Mesner goes to Gardeau. Back to Mesner. Mesner to Gardeau. Lobs it to Jepson just a little bit too high. And Rice Lake come away with it. Now Jepson pokes it free. Scooped up by Ian Bauer. Caleb Mesner now to Ian Bauer. Fakes the three. Now fakes it again. Mesner circling the ball. Now free throw line jumpers off the mark. Drew Hudson grabs the rebound though. Hudson reverse layup falls. Andrew Hudson the 2 points. And the lead back up to 16 for Memorial. Rice Lake's gotta start outscoring Memorial on these possessions ASAP. If they want to start thinking about crawling their way at least closer to this game. Landon Brown a 3. Front rim no. Offensive rebound Svensson is going to be called back. As I'm trying to see who they call here. It looks like they're going to get... Yeah, it's Will Svensson on it. His first. And Memorial will break the full court press almost immediately. Here's Ian Bauer with some speed. Bauer makes his way through as his effort rejected by Svensson. Now up the floor, a miscued pass by Pacholke intended for Ben Van Voort, who was running up the court, but he threw it out of his reach. Hey, that one rhymes. Ben Van Voort running up the court. Missed the target with that pass, and now Memorial a chance to extend their lead even more. Mesner. He'll pull up for the 3, and it's off the mark. Offensive rebound. Jepson couldn't maintain control against Svensson, and now Ben Van Voort tried to go through nothing, but he's fouled by Caleb Mesner. Last man back, trying to make something happen. His second, and Memorial started to really get up there in the fouls chart. Memorial's on 6 fouls, Rice Lake on 5, and you start to think about 1-and-1s here for both teams, the bonus and the double bonus in the second half, especially if you're Rice Lake. First shot, no, from Ben Van Voort. Ben Van Voort will have one more season. He's a junior this year. Makes the second shot, and it's 46-31. And we'll see Mesner walk the ball slowly up the floor. Actually, that's Ian Bauer. This is Caleb Mesner on the ball. I saw the Ford, I got excited. Now this one's tipped out of play by his 4 counterpart, Landon Brown. It'll stay with the Old Abes underneath the Rice Lake hoop. By the way, just recently, yesterday, my family got some insomnia cookies. Tried them and tried this cookies and cream one that was actually really, really good. May have to start getting some more of those if my parents are able to get the hint there. Lucas Loken up to Caleb Mesner. Memorial going to take their sweet time if they can. Mason McCarthy will take the 3 instead, and he'll happily take the 3 points. 49-31, the Old Abes running away from the Warriors. Landon Brown. Back up top to Brown. Here's Brown, step back 3, off the front rim and out. And Ian Bauer. That seems to be a recurring cycle in the second half. Abbott Jepson under the basket. He'll lay it up and in. And Memorial are up by 20 points, their largest of the night. largest lead for the Old Abe's. Will Svensson around to Kluppert. His pass intercepted by Lucas Loken. Lucas Loken with some speed. The sophomore goes to Bauer. Fakes the three. Now shoots the three. Lips out. No. Rebound back outside though. Ian Bauer will try a layup. It'll roll on down. And timeout taken by the Rice Lake Warriors. 53-31. The score with 5:33 left to go. And Memorial running away in this ball game. It's a 22-point lead for the Old Abe's as they've completely taken advantage of Rice Lake's weaknesses against good movement of the ball. And for Memorial, they've made consistent work on the offensive end this second half at pulling away from Rice Lake. Now if Rice Lake want to at least try to make a game out of it, not a scores and stops. You need lots of them in order to get back into this. You're down 22, which would take 11 possessions if you're just outscoring them 2-0. So the only thing you can do at this point is have a huge run of at least 15-0, and that's not really insanely realistic. But who knows? Anything can happen in the game of basketball. All right, 53-31 out of this timeout taken by Rice Lake. Rice Lake's now out of timeouts with 5:33 left in the ball game. Memorial have 4 left to go. Memorial's got a full stock left. Rice Lake have absolutely 0. Here's Hellstead spinning around. Now Will Svensson. Svensson to the far side, Landon Brown. Back up top, Hellstead for 3. Front rim and out. Rebound loose on the floor. McCarthy saves it into Mesner. And Memorial quickly will counter. Caleb Mesner. Here's Mason McCarthy. McCarthy tries the baseball pass to Mesner, doesn't go, but his teammates maintain it. Ian Bauer. McCarthy. Back to Bauer. Bauer trying to put up an awkward angled shot. No, rebound couldn't be tipped in by McCarthy. And here come the Warriors. Up the floor, Dvorak. Dvorak hesitates and goes to Hellstead. Hellstead drives in, and after a nice block by McCarthy, a foul's going to be called. I think they're going to get Loken here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Lucas Loken's going to get a foul. Nice swat by McCarthy. Unfortunately, Loken got in the way and took the foul. First shot is off the back rim and out from Hellstead. Bjorn Hellstead, the sophomore, is 6'4" sophomore, and there are some really tall guys on this Rice Lake roster. Second shot is good from Hellstead. They've got some really tall guys. They got 6'4", they got 6'5", and they got 6'6" on the roster. All you're missing is 6'7". All right, Caleb Mesner spins around his 4 counterpart, gets it into Jepson, and Abbott Jepson lays it up and in. It's a 23-32. It's a 23-point lead, I should say. As Landon Brown will go to Dvorak, I should say. Back to Brown. Dvorak again, left wing. There's some noise being made here on senior night. The seniors from earlier coming back into the game. Oliver Black and Ben Strayer. Here's an attempt from Will Svensson. Doesn't go. And here comes Kayla Mesner. 3.5 left. It's nice to see the senior guys get some more minutes out on the floor, especially with Memorial running away. McCarthy on the baseline. Goes out to Loken for 3. Back rim. No. And Rice Lake the rebound. Now there's always the possibility, and it would be an unfortunate one if we just keep going for the next 3.5. They would never get a chance to check into this ballgame. Now, that's probably not going to happen, realistically. Here's a 3 on the way. No. From the top of the key, Parker Dvorak. And now up the floor, Mesner, wide open layup on the fast break. And it's 57-32. Mario really beginning to empty the bench. Jeremiah Barkley, I see, also about to check in. And timeout's going to be taken by Brisky, and I do not blame him at all. Take the time out. Bring the guys in that haven't gotten the chance yet to get some minutes. Well, 57-32. It is a timeout officially, but it's one in which it's just a substitution chance to get guys into the ball game. 2:38 left to go. 57-32. The A's have long run away with this game. This has been an insane run the A's have gone on. I need to go back and rewatch this. I can't remember the last time Rice Lake has put the ball in the hoop. It has been a while since then. Oliver Vleck, Ben Strayer into the game along with Jamari Barkley, a sophomore, making an appearance. Ian Bauer, he stays out there, him along with Caleb Mesner. Our guy staying out there. Here's Ben Strayer, and you really like to see Ben Strayer with Oliver Vleck get some boys. Oliver Vleck did get some 3 while we were glitching out. Ian Bauer's layup attempt doesn't go. And here come Warriors with Parker Dvorak. He is Klepper. Up top for Pacholik. His pass blocked right back to him. Pacholik finds Hellstead, who could not finish initially, but then it rolled on in. And that was the first make in a while for the Rice Lake Warriors. Bauer to Barkley. Jamari Barkley goes to Ben Strayer. Strayer drives in, his layup, no. And you really want to see him get some points on the board if you're a Memorial supporter. As Ian Bauer is going to take a foul, and that's going to be one-on-one situation. That's correct. They're going to give it to Jamari Barkley. They announced him out. They gave it to Jamari Barkley, and Caleb Mesner is going to get a round of applause on his way out of this game. He is one of the seniors graduating. Is here along with Ian Bauer. He'll come out for Ethan Pawlicek. Bennett Gardeau, the other one, to also check in. Shots up. Shot is good. Front end falls. And this one is 57-35. Well, the A's, on their way to a conference win. A huge morale boost. Turnover by Barkley. Gave it right into the hands of Parker Dvorak, and that's one that might replay in his head for a while. Because the sophomore doesn't get a lot of varsity minutes. But now here's one he'd like to play. A big pass to Pawlicek into the corner. Strayer. The people want him to take the 3. Here's Gardeau trying to put up a floater, and that's rejected by Bjorn Hellstad. Final minute of this senior night. Memorial 57 and Rice Lake 48. Here's the shot. That one's blocked by Gardeau. Shot attempt failed by Pacholki. Here's Gardeau. If any of the guys on the floor score right now, this place is about to explode. Ben Strayer. Working on it, defender goes to Pawlicek. Pawlicek for a 3. He splashes it. Ethan Pawlicek the 3. He's a sneaky 3-point threat. And has been all year. 60-38. And we'll see if Rice Lake will just hold the ball here. Pacholke. They go inside for Elstad. He lost the handle. And Barkley the other way. Ronnie Barkley tried to stretch past the Gardeau. Gardeau saves it up the line. Ben Stringer, a three! Hits the side rim. This place was ready to explode. 10 seconds left. A slow walk up from Parker to Vorak. Now pass it to Elstad, who goes up and around and Club for the last second. 3 attempt is off the back rim. It's grabbed by Oliver Black. And that's the ball game. The Eau Claire Memorial Old Abes defeat the Rice Lake Warriors by a score of 60-32. The Abes ran away in the second half. They were up 9, then winning by 22 points. They controlled pretty much the entirety of this ball game. There's not much Rice Lake had. The 38 is one that is kind of on the higher end for them. They were missing a ton of chances. They just couldn't really hit the target. Memorial took advantage of the blemish in this Rice Lake team and ran away, winning it by a final score of Memorial 60 and Rice Lake 38. Well, that'll do it for our coverage of Memorial boys basketball. Our next coverage of Old Abe athletics will be Tuesday night. Playoff hockey action between the Memorial Old Abe and Wisconsin Rapids. Our next coverage of boys basketball will be the February 26th game. Or at least my next coverage of Memorial boys basketball will be February 26th, Memorial against Menominee. Well, that'll do it. So on behalf of myself, since I'm the only one here that made this broadcast possible, I'm Derek Montesano reminding you it's always a great day to be an Old Abe.